Hello and welcome to this video on reaching new members through your club website. I'm Simon Bavin from Social Bee, and Social Bee has been around since 2008, and we've had the privilege of working with many amazing clients, including lots of great sports organisations. Today we're going to be talking about SEO, and I'll talk about what SEO means in a few minutes and how it helps your club to be found. We'll talk about an 8-point checklist that you need for your website to attract new members and of course service existing members as well. And then we'll finish by looking at the next steps to improve your website. I do apologise for this slide if you're watching this video in early 2019. Christmas is probably long gone. But think of the effort that someone like Selfridges puts in every year into its window displays. Your club website should be the same. Any good shop window won't feature all the products that a club has, but it will entice people further into the store. And your homepage on your website should reflect this as well. So don't overstuff information, content, resources onto your homepage. Think about what's important to the users. What can you put on your shop window, i.e. your homepage, to entice users to come further into the website? So one of the things on today's agenda is SEO, search engine optimization. What is search engine optimization? Well, fundamentally, it's being found on Google for the things that are important to you and the users that are trying to search for your content. There is a joke in my profession that the best place to hide a dead body is on the second page of search results on Google. And you can see here that the top 5 results account for over 67% of all clicks, and the results from position 6 to 10 only account for just under 4%. So it's important to have your content ranking in the top 5 results if that's possible. So SEO will help your website and your club information to be found online. But remember that the terms that you use might not be the terms that your potential new members might be searching for. For example, for a Push the Boat Out event, parents of young children might be searching for days out with the kids rather than specific sailing activities. Other key questions to consider are: does the customer have enough information? Is our website providing the right content? Does the content on our website have the right keywords so that it can be found? Is there enough information on the website for a brand new visitor who's not used to sailing, doesn't know the jargon that we use? Why would someone stay on the website rather than go somewhere else's? So make sure we have links between pages as well to take people through a logical progression to find the information that they need. So what are the key areas that we need to think about in keeping our site up to date? Well, firstly, the information. Out-of-date information looks terrible on any website, so make sure we keep our information up to date on our website. What about the imagery that we're using? Is it relevant to the audience that we're trying to reach? Does my content appeal to people in my local area? And what about blog content? Lots of content management systems for creating and updating websites now have blog areas. Blogs can be really powerful, especially with SEO and search. If you can put keywords in the title of your blog that people are searching for, and maybe once or twice then in the content of the blog, your blog becomes findable via search. Blogs are also really powerful for showing the people in your club in their best light, sharing their expertise, sharing their knowledge through blog content. But what about keeping the site up to date from an SEO perspective? Well, we'd encourage you to create new content regularly, focus on core content and improving that core content for your audience. Work to increase clicks and time spent on a page, so make sure you have those internal links from page to page. And invest time into each page of the website, making sure it works in terms of imagery, in terms of written content as well. And Google can't read image content at the moment, so you need to add alt tags, descriptions of what your images are, especially if you're dealing with an audience that's visually impaired. And here's a quick top tip about content from Moz, who are an SEO company. Changing a large amount of text on a page can have a positive impact on the performance of your website ranking. One of the reasons why this is such a good strategy is that Google has to re-index that page or your entire website as well. So let me take you through an 8-step website checklist to make sure your website is functioning correctly and you're reaching the right audience. So where do we start? Well, the first thing to say is have a good design. Design is an all-encompassing word for the visual elements of your website. Logos, font, white space, the theme template, the layouts and colours. Using a theme that relates to the topic of your website can help you and your content keep on track. When it comes to design, it's important to remember to use white space and think about coloured usage and meaning. And I think from the left-hand side, Breitling uses a theme and a colour palette that reflects its club logo. And on white space, if we cram the home page, if we cram every page with content, then our users are going to get confused. And this is where point 2 comes in, navigation. We're not going to stuff everything that our club has to say on a home page, so we need to lead users through to the most appropriate content they're looking for by using the correct titles in our navigation. And what I'd say is we're probably looking about 6 maximum titles for our navigation, for our menus, and then think about the sub-menus within those titles as well. If you're thinking about a new website or recreating what you've got already, I'd suggest doing this offline to start off with, using post-its on a wall somewhere to make sure the correct sections are in the right menu headings and there's a logical flow through for each user finding what they want to from your navigation. The next one to mention is credibility. A good website instills trust from its visitors. Good website design takes this into consideration by incorporating items that help identify you as a legitimate resource. One way you can do this is by utilizing all of your RYA logos that apply to your club. Each club works really hard to get accredited in these different areas, so make sure they're visible on your website. Just as your website has a purpose, each piece of content should have a purpose as well. In some instances, having a call to action on the content will help your website visitors to take immediate action on that content. There's no magic formula for a good call to action, but the key is to continuously test what works best for your website and your audience. Test the placement, the size and the color of these. Make sure you use actionable words. These examples show read more, sign up for membership, make your inquiry here. At the recent conferences, we did a quick test and people were more inclined to click on Discover More than they were on Learn More. The phrase Learn More had connotations of school, whereas Discover More was about exploration. Think about your audience when you're using words with your call to actions. And what do you want people to do with your call to action? Is it sign up for a trial sale? Is it find out about your sailing club and pop down? Tell them what you want them to do. People aren't mind readers. Don't expect them to guess from your content. Give them an option to click on something and do something from that click. And if your club uses social media, tell people, put social media buttons onto your website. Position these at the top of your site or in the footer. People won't automatically try to find you on Facebook, Twitter or whatever platform you're on, but if they visit your website they can find where you are on social media channels. You can also embed your social media feed too. There are certain widgets you can get from Facebook and Twitter which you can have your feed appearing on your website. Don't forget that people need to contact you, so make sure you have your contact details in a prominent position on your website. Have a contact page, yes, but also provide contact details in the footer or header of your website. Some clubs have said, actually, this isn't appropriate for us because we haven't got the resources to staff our email or our phone line 24 hours a day. People will expect an answer from that phone line. People will expect an answer from that email. Here's a neat solution that St Dennis Boat Club has discovered that works really well for them and gets around the issue of not having people on a phone line or an email address. What they've done is they've used a little app called Pure Chat. Pure Chat is down here in the right hand corner, and there's a whole bunch of things I can do. If I click on hello, it opens a nice box where I can fill in my details and I can send my information requests. I can send my query through to the club. What happens on the back end of this is that committee members, probably up to 8 of them at a time, can be on their app, and they can field these questions as they come in from members or from people who aren't yet members about the club and its activities. And if no one's online, what will happen? The chat function will disappear, and all I'll have the option to do is actually email. The next area is of high importance. 1 in 4 people in the UK now do not browse the web via desktop or laptop. They purely use their mobile phone. So if we're trying to reach our local community, we need to make sure that our website is mobile friendly. There are 2 ways to create a mobile friendly website. One is a bit more cumbersome. It's having a desktop website and a mobile site running in parallel. Probably the preferred option is to actually have a responsive website. This is a website which will resize whether you're on desktop, whether you're on mobile phone, or even on tablet. The beauty of having a responsive website is you create the content once and it resizes automatically for whatever screen size your user is on. The easiest way to check if your website is mobile friendly, have a look at it on your mobile phone. If you have to pinch and zoom into the content, then it probably isn't. There is a more scientific way of doing this though. Google has a mobile friendly checker service, and if you type into Google mobile friendly checker, you'll be able to put your website URL in there and Google will check it for you. The last area to mention is content. Having the right content for the appropriate audience is paramount on your website. Visuals, whether that's an image or a video, grab your user's attention. It's the thing that they focused on first on your website before even looking at the text. So make sure you have the correct visuals for the audience you're trying to reach. For example, the girl in the middle of the page here is smiling. She's also safe. An image like that would appeal to parents who are thinking about your sailing club for the first time and wondering whether you're safe and friendly and whether their children are going to enjoy the activities. Videos will grab your user's attention even more than images. Why? Because they start watching the videos, whether that's on your website or embedded from a resource such as YouTube, and it keeps people on your site longer. And you can use videos to explain your activities or even introduce your club. So that's the 8 steps to make sure your website is good. I'd also throw in a 9th one that kept on cropping up at the conferences that we've recently been involved with. Make sure your website is secure. Make sure you have HTTPS rather than HTTP at the top of your browser. What's happening now is that browsers such as Google Chrome are reporting back on the browser whether websites are secure or not. From a user point of view, if I see that your website has been flagged as not secure by Google Chrome, there is no way that I'm going to put any of my details into your website. If you're asking me to sign up for a newsletter, if you're asking me for address or contact details, I'm not going to be doing that. And why? Well, the fact that your website is not secure mean that my details can be intercepted. The website could be hacked, for example, and my details could be stolen. So I'm always looking for that security level, the HTTPS. So have a chat to your web developer, whether that's someone in your club or an external web developer, about getting that security level of encryption on your website as soon as possible. One of the key things to have around your website is a planning cycle. Have a content calendar. Think about what's coming up in the next 3 to 6 months and make sure you're planning the content on your website for those events and opportunities. Also, don't forget you can put those events on your website as well. Make sure the details are on there, and you can even put links to Eventbrite and other third-party resources as well. If you're considering about creating a new website, there are lots of great tools out there. One great free tool, or nearly free tool I should say, is something called Duda, duda.co. Check it out. It's a website development platform. Even if you're thinking about using a web developer, Duda can help you mock up templates and ideas before you use that web developer. However, Duda is a great package in its own right. The only drawback that we found is it doesn't have a members section, a closed section that you can create, so you probably need to create that somewhere else and use Duda as more like a brochure site and an event site for your club. So let's talk about some next steps. We've already mentioned content as a key focus. Why is content so important? Well, from an SEO perspective, content will help our club's website to be found online. And here's a great quote: content marketing costs 62% less than traditional marketing and generates about 3 times as many leads. So content marketing can be more effective than radio interviews or putting something in the local press or even leaflets. What are some fundamentals to consider with your content? Well, the first would be having generally useful text content on each page. Always be informative. Each piece of content should have a purpose. Also think about planning ahead to save time. If you have an event in 2019, say it's Push the Boat Out, when can you start promoting it on your website? And remember to have high quality images on key pages. Images grab your user's attention. And in terms of quality, we're talking about 2 things here. Relevant images for your audience is number 1, and number 2 is actually thinking about the quality of the image, i.e. the file size. If you're uncertain of the file size, there are a number of resources out there to help you, including shrinkme.app, which will automatically resize your image for the highest quality possible, but the lowest file size. And remember on your website to be welcoming to those who aren't yet sailors or members, and those who are current club members as well. Additionally, show that your website is loved, it is cared for, by having up-to-date information on there. Within your content calendar, of course, take an event that's happened and report back on it to your members via your website. Any successful website needs to be able to measure its success, and your club website is no different in this. Google Analytics is a completely free tool that you can link to your website and start measuring immediately. All you need is a piece of code from Google Analytics to put onto your website, and you can start measuring a whole load of things. For any club website, one of the most valuable parts of Google Analytics is knowing what's happening at page level, which pages are performing better than other pages, which are having the most views. This can also help you decide which pages are performing best and which pages aren't performing too well at all, and therefore which pages maybe to get rid of. You can also set up goals within Google Analytics as well. So when someone takes an action on your website that's defined in Google Goals, it will report back on the goal to you. Just to say that Google Analytics is 100% free, and rather than go into detail on it here, there is a video on Google Analytics and about measuring activity for your club. The video is available in the Club Zone, and don't forget there's a whole load of other resources that are available there, including being found online, saving time online, and protecting yourself online. So in summary, a key action takeaway list for you. What about setting yourself a 1-hour time slot each week to work on your content? Set reminders to change content, including banners, when they become outdated. Don't forget to install Google Analytics and start using it to analyze your data and prioritize which pages you'll concentrate on and which pages you'll get rid of potentially. Then review your current website for the 8 key areas, including mobile friendly, and I would throw in the 9th, which is HTTPS as well. Get a potential member to review the website. It's always getting an objective eye to have a look over what you're doing. And then put together an action list of improvements your website could benefit from. So thank you for watching this video, and if you have any further questions, please come and have a conversation with us. Either call us or email us. Alternatively, don't forget your RDO is there to help you as well and might be a good first port of call. Thank you.